I'm Mandee Palmer with the Bellingham Public Library in Bellingham, Washington. Thanks for watching today's virtual preschool story time, a story time from my home to yours. Any ideas what story time might look like today? Do you notice anything? This board and paper, and I have markers. Do you think I'm going to read books today? Or do you think I might draw a story today? Did you guess draw a story? This is a special kind of story time. I call it personal narrative story time, which means I'm going to draw a story about me. Personal means it's about me, and narrative means it's a story. Some of you might know about this kind of storytelling, and for some of you, it might be new. So we'll sing our name song, and I'll tell you a little bit more about a personal narrative, and then I'll get started. Clap and sing with me, and please share your name. Ready? I'm so glad you're here today, here today, here today. I'm so glad you're here today. Who are you? Did you say your name? I'm Mandee. Thank you for watching. Here is my poster that helps me be ready to tell a personal narrative story. First, I have to make a plan, and I have to ask and answer this important question. It says, what's the story you're going to tell today? Well, I already thought about what story I'm going to draw, so I already know what my story will be for today. The pictures help remind me of the parts of a story. A story could have characters. Who are the people in the story? A story can have a setting, the place. Where did the story happen? A story has an action or event. What happened in the story? A story can have feelings. If anybody says anything in the story, there could be a speech bubble. And then when I'm all done drawing the picture that tells the story, I will write the words at the bottom of the picture. The most important part, telling what happens in the story. And remember, after you have a turn to be the audience for my story while I am the author and I draw my story, after you watch this video, you can have a turn to be the author at home and find something in your house that you can draw on and draw your own story when this is all done. Are you ready for a personal narrative story? I don't know. Are you really ready? We should probably do the ready test just to make sure, okay? If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, sit very still. If you're ready for a story, sit very still. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, sit very still. You are ready. So the very first thing I'm going to draw on my paper is just the line at the bottom. I'm drawing the line here so that I can draw my picture above the line, and then when I'm all done, I'll write just the words of the most important part of what happens in the story. So I'm gonna do my best by drawing part of the setting that's answering the question, where does the story happen? And it happens on the way to my house, but not actually at my house. So my house will be way over here in the story. But first, I'm gonna try to show you how steep the road or the driveway is that goes up, 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 up up the hill and then curves around, and then my house is over here. So this is going up, 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 and then at the top, it curves, curves, and that's the end of our driveway, and then my house will be right here in the distance. It's gonna look kind of small in the picture because the main part of what happens in my story is actually on the road, on the way to my house. To draw, my house is kind of a wood brown color, so I'm gonna get my brown marker and do my best to make it look like my house. So I'm gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines that end up making kind of a square, or really more of a rectangle shape, because the house is a little bit taller than it is wide. So 2 longer lines and 2 shorter lines making the rectangle shape of my house. And I'll draw another rectangle. I'll show you that is my front door, and that is the handle, a little line for the handle of the door. And at the top of the house, I will draw a triangle shape for the roof, and I'll just color in that part. Make those lines connect. So there's my house at the top of the steep driveway on the hill. And this story happened a little more than a month ago. It was really, really cold, and there had been a lot of snow. Did you have a lot of snow at your house? And on this day, the snow wasn't falling down anymore, but the snow was all over the ground, and it had gotten really cold, and the snow turned to ice. So now you know a little bit more about what kind of day it was when I'm gonna draw you the characters in the story. But we weren't walking up the hill, so I have to draw my car. So my car is kind of a blue color. So I'm gonna find my blue marker, and I'm gonna do my best to draw. My car is kind of a boxy shape. Let's see, how do I want to do it? Let's go like that. And then up. And then the front of the car. And oh, I'm gonna make my car look very big in this picture, but I want it to be big enough that you can see what happens. So there's the shape of the body of my car. And then I'm gonna draw the wheels of my car. What shape are wheels or tires? Are they star-shaped? Oh, probably not usually. Are they triangle shaped like that and pointy? Oh no, this wouldn't roll very well. Are they circle shapes? Yes, you knew that, didn't you? Round circle shapes. So here, I'm gonna draw the tires or the wheels of my car. And my car has 4 wheels, but I'm only gonna draw 2. 1, 2, because we are looking at the side of the car. So that's all you really see is the 2 on this side. So there's 1 in the back and 1 in the front. And then I'm gonna draw the window so that you can see me, because I'm a character in my story, and you can see the other person who's in the car, the other character in my story, in the back seat. So I'm not gonna draw our whole bodies in this picture, but I will draw our heads peeking through the window. So I'm gonna draw the window right here. I'll draw a big window. And it's actually multiple windows, but I'm gonna draw it so that you can see it as one. I was the driver of the car. So here's the steering wheel right here. And then I will I'll use a line to separate the front window and the back window. And so who is the person driving the car? It was me. So my best to make it look like me up here in the front seat driving the car. So again, I'm gonna use a round, an oval or a circle shape, or an oval is kind of a long circle. That's kind of like our heads can be oval shapes. So there's my head, and my eyes are kind of a greenish color, so I'm gonna use my green marker and draw 1, 2 eyeballs, and a nose. And what color hair do I have? Do I have pink hair? Oh, not right now. Right now my hair is, there it is, my brown marker I need for my brown hair. Like this. And do you remember, did I say it was a rainy day or a sunny day? Or what kind of a day was it? It was a cold day. It wasn't actually snowing, but it had already snowed and there was still some snow and ice on the ground. A lot of snow and ice. So I'm gonna draw a detail so that we can tell it was a cold winter day. And on a cold winter day, I wear a hat to keep my head warm. So I'm gonna use my purple marker because I have a purple hat and draw my hat, keeping me warm in the car. And I'm gonna draw my mouth. I'm not gonna draw a smile because in this moment in the story, I was not feeling happy. I was feeling a little nervous. Do you know why I was feeling nervous? Can you guess? I was driving up the steep hill on the ice on the cold day. Yeah, I was a little nervous about that. Okay, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. I need to finish the characters. I need to label me, and I need to draw the other character, the other person in my story. So to label me, I'm going to write, instead of writing my name, I'm going to write the word me, and I'm going to write the letters M and E, me. That's a capital M and a lowercase e. So there's me in the car, and there was someone riding in a car seat in the back seat of the car. I'm going to draw her. She looks very similar to me, but she's smaller. Does anyone know who I might be drawing? Do you have any guesses? In the back of my car, I'm drawing my daughter, and her name is Sadie. So this is going to be Sadie right here. And Sadie has eyes that are more of a bluish color. So I'll find my blue marker so I can add that detail to make it look like her. One little nose. And she also has brown hair like mine. So I'll draw her hair. It's about the same length as mine too. And the same waviness. So there is Sadie sitting in the back seat. And on these cold, chilly, icy, frosty days, Sadie likes to wear her pink hat that looks like a kitty cat. So I'm going to draw her hat, her pink hat with ears on it. One kitty ear, two kitty ears. And Sadie, I will draw with a smile because she was happy. She wasn't driving the car. She was doing just great. Just actually, she was probably chatting away, but I don't remember what she was saying exactly because I was focused on driving. So now I'm going to label. So I'm going to write her name, and her name is Sadie. Any guesses what letter Sadie starts with? Like snake or sun? Did anyone say letter S? Sadie starts with an S. And her name is spelled S-A-Y-D-E. So now you can see a lot of the parts of my story, a lot of the story elements or story parts. You can see the people or the characters. There's me and Sadie. And we are in a car, my car, a little blue car that is a Kia Soul and not good for driving in the snow and ice. Not really at all, especially not on steep hills. And we are trying to drive up the steep hill, trying to get home, right? Trying to get to our house. But because there was so much ice and snow on the road, and to be honest, there wasn't actually that much ice and snow left, which is why I thought it would be okay and safe to drive up this hill. But what do you think happened? Do you think we drove up, made it to the top, and that's the end of the story? I wish, but no, that's not what happened. The car was going up, and we got to the part of the hill right before it starts to turn, and then my wheels did this. Can you see all those arrows showing you that my wheels were spinning? And that's usually how cars drive, right? The wheels spin and the cars go. But this car on this day in this story was stuck in the ice on the steep hill. And the wheels just spun and spun and spun and spun. And they just kept spinning. And I was feeling like, oh no, nervous. And this is not the first time that this has happened to me and Sadie in my car. It was the first time this year, this winter, in this snow and ice. And sometimes in past years, I've felt like, oh, really scared or really stressed. Like, oh no, what am I gonna do? But this time, I was just kind of like, And so I'm going to draw you, instead of a speech bubble, because I didn't say the words out loud, I'm going to draw you draw a thought bubble. I'm going to write the words of what I was thinking at this moment when my car got stuck and my wheels were spinning and spinning. So this is how I draw a thought bubble in little dots and kind of like a little cloud where the words go. And I'm gonna write what I was thinking. This is happening. And in that moment, I just thought, well, this is happening. And I wasn't really happy about it, but I also wasn't really sad or really mad. I just kind of like accepted that that's what was happening. And then I had to come up with a solution. And I couldn't just stay spinning and spinning on the road all day or all week or all month or all year forever. I had to do something, right? Any ideas, any guesses about what I did? Well, luckily, there was no cars behind me. This is pretty much a road that just goes to my house and 2 other neighbors, so not a lot of cars drive on this road or this driveway. So I looked in my mirror to see that it was all clear behind me, and then I had to very, very, very slowly start driving my car backwards, back down the hill. Very, very slowly, just a little bit at a time, to get the car back to a different road that's over here where you can't see it because it's off the paper, where I could park the car in a safe place. I could park it next to our mailboxes. And then Sadie and I had to get out of the car with our bundled up in our winter coats and hats and her backpack and our boots. And we had to very, 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 very carefully walk. I'm trying to make little footprints to show you that we walked. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk, walk. And then finally, eventually, we got back home and we went inside to the warm house. And the story was over. That was what happened. That's what happened that day, that the car got stuck on the icy hill in the snow. Has anything like that ever happened to you? You ever been stuck in a car in any way? Or have you ever walked on slippery ice and you had to be really careful not to fall? Yeah. Well, thanks for being such a great audience and watching my whole story. It's not quite all the way done yet, is it? We have the picture. The picture is complete, and we can read the picture and see, oh, there we are. That's me and Sadie in the car. And we tried to drive up the steep hill, but we got stuck, and the wheels spun and spun. And we had to carefully back down the hill and park the car and get out, and then walk back to our house. So now I'm going to write down here under the picture the most important words, the most important part of what happened in this story. So I'm going to choose the words, we got the car stuck on the hill. That's how I'm going to choose to put it into words. And you know that we are the people you see in the picture, me and Sadie. So I'm going to say we got the car stuck on the hill. We got the car stuck on the hill. I'm actually going to add a little bit more detail to that writing. I decided to add, I'm going to add the words in the ice, because that tells you more of what happened. I didn't get the car stuck in the mud or in quicksand. I got it stuck in the ice. And that is the end of my story. But before we sing goodbye, I want to remind you that when you are done with this video, you can go anywhere in your home and find what you have to draw on and draw with. Check with your grown-ups, make sure this is, paper I can draw on, these are markers I can use. And also, kids and grown-ups watching at home, I know that all kids out there are all different levels and stages of being a writer. So some are learning to use markers, pencils, crayons, and make lines and shapes on paper, or just kind of make lines and move the marker around. And some are working on making shapes, or maybe even adding details, or some might even be working on some letters. So grown-ups, you can sort of help guide your kids at home with whatever level that they're at. But don't forget, before you grab your markers and your paper and just start drawing, you have to ask this really important question. What's the story you're going to tell today? I hope you all have fun having a turn to be the author and drawing your stories at home. If you draw stories and you'd like to share them with us at the library, you can bring in your pictures and show them to us when you come in to visit the library. That would be really cool. We'd like to see your stories too. Thanks for watching. Let's do one more song together before we end. Can you wave your hand like this? Can you wave your other hand like this? Can you wave both hands like this? Okay, let's sing goodbye and we'll sing it twice. Here we go. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands for all our friends. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We wave goodbye like this. We clap our hands for all our friends. We wave goodbye like this. Goodbye, friends. Thanks for watching. I will see you another day.